Florida State quarterback is set. Fireworks go off. They are feeling great. It's going to be a wonderful weekend. 958 yards of offense for Tom Allen.
So, Indiana and Miami territory. Cooper, 30 yards by this? You got that?
Up in the air in the fourth quarter. It's still
is projecting Indiana will be the winner of this game.
Risky move. He's going to be a 2-yard turn. Tempo from the Hurricanes away from the pressure. Throws to the corner. Touchdown, Truex.
Think they're going to go to a bowl game next year? Think that again? Freshman from Fishers, Indiana.
Marches to the beat of his own drum. Continue to feed Tony, but nowhere to run.
Another very 75-yard drop. He drew it in the land of the Ducks here on the home field in the last couple of years.
Playing in his hometown is one of those full circle moments that she was
Has to go down, sacked again.
Prayers are answered. Here's McClellan again, run after the catch. He's taken down.
But he still needs to play more ball. This Oregon team in general, very, very young and should be really good next season.
People to be around.
Back suffer just their second interception of the season. This is a big, big one here.
There's Jamari Johnson. Great run after the catch. They got yanked out just shy of the end zone by Jaja Boyd. Exchange of throws a touchdown. Roger Saliapaga, the sophomore tight end.
Just keep giving it to him.
Can win the most recent biggest game in school history. It's two dominant wins in this play. 38-3 over one of the great programs of all time in Alabama. 56-22 over the Oregon Ducks.
Hit as he throws it. It's going to be the ball game.
It's the best coach team
Celebrate here.
You want this? You got that?
The other linebacker.
Tony comes in motion. They pitch it to him. Malachi Tony takes off and
Dante
races
Moore
down
had thrown only one interception all year.
From Keelan Marion.
And he's thrown 2 today.
Fletcher.
Oregon's going to fall
off the
from the
tackle,
ranks.
just falls forward. He's just short of the marker at about the 3.
There's the completion.
7 offensive linemen in there. 7 O-linemen and a tight end.
Takes a long time to hit the turf. Say that
Fletcher.
3 years ago.
Watson, Miami touchdown.
Final play.
What a response.
Dante Moore lofts it down to the end zone and almost caught, incomplete. Wouldn't have mattered as far as the outcome of the game.
Just running through arm tackles, first down across the 40. Back 24 years old, Hemby's 23, representative of the way Indiana has built this team with very experienced, well-traveled players. A dangerous throw on the edge. Ethan O'Connor almost jumped the route in front of Cooper.
Access, let's take it. It's an alert. Look at the reaction, how quickly 24 drove down on that football. Almost as if he's baiting him. If I go off, he's going to think he's open.
There it is to the edge. Cooper has some blockers. Omar Cooper with his quick burst. Good help on the edge from his teammates, and the gain is 19. Mendoza delivers downfield. Cooper didn't see the football. Covered by O'Connor. Hoosier fans wanted a flag.
Oh, they should have gotten it.
It's something of a gamble. A lot of coaches would punt Miami deep. Mendoza, ball in his hands. Sideline pitch. Becker comes back to make a catch.
They do it all the time. Surratt usually makes these plays. Becker showing you he's got the ability as well against O'Connor. Timing, the ball was in the air. He comes back perfectly. Look at those hands by Becker.
Huge. Double digits again. Mendoza across the middle. Too high. Trying to find E.J. Williams. It was O'Connor in coverage. And Miami will apparently force a field goal attempt here. Miami had to get the field goal block team off to get some pass rushers back on there. Here we go. Got to get to the 8. He's going to take off and run. Mendoza weaves his way first and goal. Diving toward the end zone. Touchdown! That's why he won the Heisman Trophy.
What a call by Curt Cignetti and the offensive coordinator, Mike Shanahan. Quarterback draw. He definitely breaks the plane, holds on to the football for a touchdown. What an individual effort, as you said, Chris, by the Heisman Trophy winner.
Very, very few design runs had not been a part of the plan. Cignetti.
Real follows his blockers. Drew Evans leads his way in there. Also gets behind Kalon Black, but really it was about what Mendoza was determined to do.
Landing here. 2nd and 10. Back pedals. Launches downfield. That's Marion again. And comes back and tried to make a catch there. Ruled incomplete. Pons covered him. Weird play because he didn't spot the ball until just the last second.
Watch him backhand that, and then the ball gets loose. It looked at first when he went up that he somehow came down with it right there, and then it came out.
Beck has time against the late rush, and he delivers a strike.
Sat right behind the linebackers. He put it right over top of them.
Beck again delivers across the middle. It's Tony. Malachi Tony splitting defenders and weaving his way deep into Hoosier territory. And just like that, with 2 plays, essentially come away with points in this drive.
Tony in the backfield there.
He's got it on the pitch. Tony breaks free. Malachi Tony spinning, scoring! Is there a more exciting player in this sport? Just throwing punches and taking punches from each other. Malachi Tony makes it a 3-point game again. 6:37 left. Cooper comes across in motion, now goes back. Mendoza rolls that way. Pitches it short. Nice play design. Cooper just enough to confuse the defense. They convert on 3rd down.
Big matchup right here.
Some confusion. 2 in the play clock. Mendoza pitches downfield. Becker makes the catch again in front of O'Connor. Nobody stopped that all year consistently. Clock ticking at 2:21. Another 1st down run for Hemby. He's got the edge. Stiff arm. Scoots out of bounds. And it's right near the marker.
Tackle. Watch him kind of nonchalant. Now he goes for the safety. Huge collision. And forced the corner to have to make that tackle. Great job right there by Omar Cooper. Jacoby Thomas, he didn't know what hit him.
Field goal attempt. Depending on how much time left, we give Miami hope. Hemby is the back. Hemby bursting free. Bangs forward for 10. They'll spot him just short of the marker. 1st down, you're right. That is crucial now. Whistle.
Yeah, that movement. I think he had movement on the left side by Indiana's offensive line.
Black nothing. He's stopped immediately. That was Wesley Bassint and Mo Touré. Those two linebackers stepped up. Final timeout taken. Field goal attempt coming up. Field goal knocked right through. So Indiana took 4:50 off the clock. Moved it 11 plays and added 3 to the lead. But Miami and Carson Beck are going to have a chance. The kind of drive he was able to produce against Ole Miss in the Fiesta Bowl. Facing serious crowd noise in their home stadium. Clock was down at 0.
They got it. Delay.
How about these Hoosier fans traveling to Miami, just like they did in a neutral field in Atlanta, and making this feel like a road game for Miami.
5-yard penalty, so first down.
Four-man rush, Beck, pressured, flips it underhanded. They're trying to find it to Bauman, the tight end. Crowd loud again. Tony comes in motion, Beck looking the other way. He threw it down the seam. C.J. Daniels did not have his head turned. Flags down as they hit Beck after the throw. Staggering.
After he threw this football, he gets hit. Bill, what do you think of that one?
I support the roughing the passer call.
Okay. Well, Miami catches a break after it looked like would be an incompletion after the delay of game.
Beck's got to regroup from that big blow and deliver. Miami still 65 yards from the end zone. Underneath, Marty Brown's got it. Brown breaks a tackle. It's a first down. Beck again, nobody open. And fires. High ball, catch made. Beck, long pitch to the sideline. Catch made by Daniels. Spun down inbounds by Sharp. Again, no timeouts left. Clock stops momentarily as Mendoza can watch on one knee.
Yeah.
Brown is the back. Beck steps up, delivers downfield. Intercepted! Jamari Sharp makes the pick that will clinch Indiana's first national championship.
How about Jamari Sharp, who's from Miami of Florida, went to Northwestern High School, takes advantage of an underthrown ball, had his eyes on it the whole way. So as he throws it, the safety's going to work over here to help out. Now it's a 2-on-1. The corner knows he has help so he can trail. Doesn't feel the urgency to have to stay upfield with Marion. He knows the safety's coming over. Now he locates the football, staying in zone. Indiana's been doing this all year. That's why they're #1 in turnover margin. They play with zone.
He finds Mendoza. He brings a bunch of guys from JMU. He has a keen eye for talent. And a bunch of experienced veteran guys are going to come out of here with the school's first national title.
I think it's got to be one of the greatest stories we've ever seen in college football. One of the losingest teams in college football history at the start of the year to now the national champions.
A century of futility is forgotten. The Indiana Hoosiers are the kings of college football.